thought it'd be nice just to put together a little video on what's happening to the Hatherleigh sheep and how they're going to be repaired, for those of you that will be interested in the process itself. The sheep have been brought into my workshop here, and what I've done is created what are in effect two wheels at each side of the sculpture, braced with 3x2 wood just here. The flat here represents the ground level, so these two wheels have two flats, top and bottom. So when I rolled the sheep over, because I've got to do this by myself, and they're incredibly heavy, so it takes 3 strong men to pick these up, and I didn't want to damage the sheep at all. So the best way to do it was to create this wheel so that I could literally move them and tip them over onto their upside down without damaging any of the original artwork. But it's been beautifully done, actually. I'd say these sheep are absolutely fantastic and they're really worth saving. So now what I've got is a straight line across here which represents the ground level, which means that I can now work out exactly the height of all the feet, so I won't get lost. And when we turn it up the right way with all the new feet attached, I know that there won't be one that will be rocking around. They'll all be perfect. So that's where we're at as far as this is concerned. We're going to replace all of this metalwork here, which is galvanized angle iron, with stainless steel box tubing, because that will last forever. It'll outlast the sculpture itself. And what we'll do is exactly what the original artist did, and we'll attach it to the sculpture itself, so the whole thing becomes an integral design. And 2 of these feet will have stainless steel bar sticking out of the bottom, and that's how we'll reattach the sheep permanently in position so they cannot be moved again. So what I want to do is make them as strong as possible, fixed in a way that can't rust. So all the original metalwork here is rusting through, so it was well worth bringing it to me just to get it fixed now before we lose it altogether. And what my job now is to take out all the rusty metal and replace it with new stainless steel that won't rust, so that we've got something that will last in perpetuity. Good, so the next stage is to cut 2 of these legs off, which I've already done. I've numbered them 1 and 2, trying to be sensible so I remember where they are when they go back on. And from those 2, I'm going to take a mould. So we go over the other side, I'm going to show you how the moulds are being made so that you can understand how each of the legs is going to be reproduced and replaced onto the sculpture itself. So this is the foot and the leg of Roger's sheep. What I want to do is capture the integrity of his work, so I'm not re-sculpting them in any way. I'm going to use the original and make a mould of it. What I've done is I've given a little clay sleeve underneath, and I've used the original studding that held it onto the sculpture to help support it in this block of wood just here. So now it's a lovely upside down leg ready for me to go. I've done a bit of work on it to make sure that I don't have to do that work on every leg that's cast, so I've tidied it up a little bit. So what I've done here is just started the rubber mould. So I've made up some silicone rubber and I'm painting it on. Before I did this, I put release agent onto the legs. Now the reason for that is because silicone doesn't really stick to anything, so it should come off everything. But cement fondue is porous, so the silicone will bleed into these tiny microscopic pores, and the rubber will stick, or stands a strong possibility of sticking to the cement fondue. So what I've done is just made sure, as best I can, that that won't happen, and this will release nice and easily off the original work. So it's a race against time now. The rubber is going to go off in about 20 minutes, and I want to get it on, make sure that it's covered every aspect of it before it sets. I've got the moulds to a stage where the seams are on, the whole thing's been covered in 2 layers of rubber now, which is a thin rubber like paint. And what I'm doing now is mixing up a fixotropic layer like this. Same stuff with just a fixotropic additive to it, which gives me a really lovely paste, like icing a cake. I'm just making sure that the catalyst is well and truly mixed in. Starting at the bottom, working my way up. Using a paddling motion like this, make sure that everything is fully covered and there's no air bubbles in it. That's the idea behind it. And you can hear the bubbles bursting as you do it. There's a little crackling sound, a bit like Rice Krispies in a bowl. So these are the moulds now finished. You've got the rubber inside, supported by the fiberglass jackets, and it's all ready to be cast now. The lovely thing is that this remains integrally Roger's work, which is really important when you're restoring a sculpture like this, that the provenance is assured. So the 2 halves go together beautifully like that, and they bolt up once the cast is inside, mechanically with nuts and bolts like so, and it makes a nice easy cast. So now I'll be able to cast all the missing legs and repair the ones that are badly damaged, of which there's quite a lot actually, so repairing these will make a massive difference. This time I'm going to be doing it in fiberglass rather than cement fondue. This will give us a really strong repair with stainless steel inside, so we'll get rid of all the, or as much of, the mild steel as we possibly can, and weld these into place using the jig that I've made up on the sheep to be able to make sure that all the legs are level. Great, I'll report back as soon as we get to the next stage.